Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to sew this nice pair of home shoes. And you can see I have the sewless. It's not just with fabrics, so it's very practical and very strong, and it can last for a very long time. And from today, when you buy this sewler from my shop, you get a free pattern, and you will see the video how to sew it. So now we start. When you buy the sewler, you can see this is the sewler. When you buy this pair of sewler, it will come with a pattern. That's the pattern for here, only here. And I have two sizes. One is the normal size and one is the bigger size because maybe someone's feet they are a little bit bigger. So I have two sizes for this part. And for here, you just draw after the sewler. So that's nothing special. So now we are going to talk about how to do it. We need to prepare for this one. You can see on the pattern, one side is longer and one side is shorter. I have to say the longer side, that's for the inner part. That means you can see this pair. Here is longer than this side. So when you get the pattern, you need to notice, and when you draw on the fabric, you need to notice, you need to draw two different. You can see, and you don't need to add any seam allowance to it. Just draw it after two pairs, one pair. You can just use a piece of fabrics, or like me, I do some embroidery on it because I like it to look special. And then I iron the fusible batting on it. This is some very thick fusible batting. Then it will be more soft, so it could be it would be very nice to wear it. And then I have one piece of fabric at the back, because you cannot just wear the batting directly, right? So you also need to have the batting. So I use the fusible batting, so I just iron it on the wrong side of this ester fabric. But if you use some normal batting, or you use a few layers of the thin batting, then it's better you also quilt it. Then it will last for longer time, it will be stronger. But I use this fusible batting, so it's very easy to do. So you can see this piece I finished already, and this is how it looks. I prepare a piece of fabric. It's a little bit bigger than the pattern. And then I iron the fusible batting on, and then I put the line fabric on, and I cut all three pieces together. Then you'll get this. And what we need to do now is to wrap the binding here. I will just do it. So now you can see this piece. I finished binding here. So now you can join with the button. And for the button, we need to do the same thing. It's the ester fabric, batting, and the line. And for this part, the line, it will lay on the sewler later. So you can never see this piece again. So normally I will just use some scrap from my box. It doesn't need to be, it looks very fancy or anything. Just here you can make something is really beautiful and you like it very much. And for this piece, for the button, it's very important you need to quilt. Because here is where you really step on it. And if you don't quilt it, then your foot is moving it all the time. Then it will become loose and thinner and thinner. Then it cannot really last very long time. So it's very important for this piece. You need to quilt. all 3 pieces together, and you just need to cut all the pieces bigger than the solar, and then put it together, and after that you can cut. And here is where I cut already. But remember, when you cut these 2 pieces, you remember you really need to cut 2 different. Don't cut it the same, then you will make the mistake. So I cut for this, and now I can sew these 2 together. And try to see here. There's some point of this surface and the button. They have some place. It's really, they are matching each other, and that's where you need to start and fix it together with clips or pin as you wish. So now you can see I fixed the surface and the button together. Now we need to wrap the binding all around it. So try to see. Now I sew the binding here. I sew with the machine. And then we need to turn it. Do this. You can see here is the binding all around. Then for the button, what you need to do is very easy. You just fix the binding with the button. You don't need to do wrapping and then sew it with the hem stitch here. It's not necessary because you cannot see that anymore. So we can just sew here very fast. Just sew around to fix the binding with the button. And that's it. Try to see here. Just do this and all the way around. Okay, now you can see I fixed this binding just at the button. Very easy and fast. Okay. So the last step is to sew this part on the solar. How to do it? We need to use an awl. Is this tool. I think you can find that in your husband's toolbox. And what you need to do is to make the holes at the bottom here. I just make a few, then you can see the holes between the distance between the holes is around 8 millimeter. You can see here. On the solar, that's exactly the place where you can make the holes. And these are the holes I just make around 8 millimeter for the distance. And you just make all the way around. Okay, I finished making the holes. So now I start sewing on. And before you sew it on, it's very important. You need to pin you need to pin some place on the top and some place here. Why we need to do that? That's because then we are sure when we sew this sew it on the solar, we always sew it in the right place. It will not move to the sides and it's always in the middle. So it's very important. You can also just see, I just pin the top. If I pin the top, Then I start at the button. Then I don't need to pin all of it. So I just pin one place and then I start from here. And you need to prepare a very long needle and use the hand sew thread. It should be 4 threads. And you need to prepare a long one because every time you start sewing and end sewing, you need to sew a few times. That's very annoying if you need to change the thread all the time. So it's better you prepare a long one, then normally I only change twice. So I start from button and I come in from the button of the fabric part. And then I come to here, and what I need to do, because if you sew directly here, then you can see all the stitches. That's not so beautiful. So what I do is I go in at the binding at the edge. See here. And then I pull the thread. Try to see. You cannot see any stitch here. Yeah. And then here where you go up, you go down from the same point, but it's not on the binding anymore. It's on the fabric here. And you go down, pull it, yeah, and then you find the right hole on the solar. And then pull it tight. Yeah, that's the first one we sew on. And on the button, we just move to the other hole. And we go up to the surface part. See? I go up from here again. And then I go in from the edge of the binding again. See here. And then pull it hard, and you cannot see any stitch here. And then from the same place, I go down again. To the solar. See? No stitch here, but you can see the stitch here. But because here is a place going inside, so if you pull your stitch strong enough, this part will never touch the floor, so it will be very strong. And you use the hand sew thread, and that's how to sew solely on the solar. And you just need to finish all the way around and try to hide your stitch, and that's it. Then you will finish your very nice home shoes. It could be a very good gift for your family, for your friends, for the Christmas gift or birthday gift. It's really showing your love to them. So hope you like the video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.